One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here, to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
And welcome to today's episode of MyTueSense. I am your host, Debra Mcglothurn. I am a mother, daughter, sister, auntie, cousin, friend, caring, compassionate, and considerate, a romantic, a creative, and lover of nature. I have a master's in business administration and a bachelor's in science and a bachelor's of science in business. And I have 5 children that have given me degrees that you will never see on the wall. So that's a little bit about me.
Leave the computer here. Don't take it back. Just leave it right there.
Technical difficulties. Okay. And we're back. But that's a little bit about me. And what is my 2 cents? My 2 cents in a phrase is motivation through exposure. So I like to share the things that come to me that I feel like would be good for people, individuals, some things that you probably, it's motivation through exposure, but a lot of times it's not necessarily exposure. A lot of times it's really just reminding us of things that we already know. So I also discuss trending topics, but not really a whole lot of trending topics, but I will do that from time to time. So I will share my 2 cents. You can share your 2 cents, and hopefully together we can make some sense and make minute changes in our lives and the lives of the people around us. And with that being said, if you have any topics that you would like my take on, you would like for me to share my 2 cents, just email me at the email that's on the screen, my2cents@gmail.com. And if you've noticed some of the other podcasts, it did have a different email. So just note that it is a new updated email. Again, it's my2cents@gmail.com. And it's on the screen, and it's also at the description of the video on my Facebook Live. Welcome. So the inspirational quote for today is, create routines that make an impact. I used to watch Hour magazine. I don't know if it still shows. I don't know if they have it on replay, but they had a tagline that said, make every hour count. And that was something that I remember even back then. I watched it every day. And when I say back then, that was back in the 80s. So I don't know how long it ran or if it's still running. I don't know. But I remember after I would watch it, I would consciously remind myself to make every hour count. So every hour I was making sure I was doing something productive. And maybe that's one of the reasons that I like to get into the being productive and trying to be productive. But anyway, the topic for the day. The topic for today is why you should wake up to the smell of coffee. And we'll talk more about that when we come back from this commercial break.
Good news for the Southern California business community. Now you can add your business to the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce Business Directory complimentary. We have been working tirelessly to build a list of Black-owned enterprises in Southern California. This is an excellent way for you to be a part of an expansive network and find your ideal customers, business partners, and vendors. So don't waste time. Visit blackchamberofcommerce.org today and add your business today.
And we are back. Again, the topic for the day is why you should wake up to the smell of coffee. The last few days, I've had a couple of my friends that have lost their dads. And one of them was actually en route to go and visit his dad because he knew that they had already only given him a few days. And so he was traveling clean across the country to go and see him, not knowing how long he would be there, which is why he didn't fly, which is why he drove across the country and from California to Maryland, clean across the country. And before he actually made it there, his dad passed. And so I was on the phone, we were having a conversation, we would talk just to make sure that he was on top and he was not falling asleep and he was, in a good spirit and all that stuff. So we were keeping in touch. And so we were talking, and this was after he got word. And, I was just kind of trying to get him to think about some of the things, some of the memories that him and his dad created. And one of the things was that him and his dad had been, he had actually seen him a couple months ago. June, he had went out there in June. So he had seen him a couple months ago. And I was telling him just how some of his situation was a lot like the situation was when my dad passed. My dad, his birthday was in February, and my siblings and I had all went to visit him in February. And then in April, he was bedridden. And so we were back in April, the first week or so of April. And then after we all left, he passed. And it was like the middle of April. So from February, his birthday was February 4th. So from February to April, he went from driving and doing the stuff that he was doing to bedridden and passing away. And in this conversation with my friend, I was telling him about, how me and my dad had for a good while, we had not been, communicating like we had been, but like the last 5 years of his life, we were in constant communication. We were regularly talking. And we also started talking about some of the things that remind you of the dad, or some of the memories that you had created, or some of the rituals, routines, or whatever that you created. And one of the things that we got to talking about was how my dad was, he drank coffee every morning, right? But the coffee maker was set on a timer where the coffee came on at a certain time every morning. So I woke up to the smell of coffee every morning. And my friend, this was this conversation that we were having. And then, so we had talked about the coffee and all this and how it was because of my dad. Now, my dad, he drank his coffee black. Of course, I drink coffee with my cream and sugar. So I don't drink it black, but I've always loved the smell of coffee. And the next morning, after my friend and I were having this conversation, I woke up, and I'm one of those people that I like to be snuggled up, warm and cozy in the morning under the covers. I like to stay wrapped up in the covers, nice and toasty, right? Just snuggled up in the morning. And then the next morning when I woke up, it was like, I want to smell some coffee. And I was saying I want to smell some coffee, but I would have to get up to make the coffee in order for me to smell the coffee. And from that, I was like, what does that actually do for you? What does the smell of coffee do for you? Because I know I love the smell of coffee, and I love the smell of bread. There's certain things that I just loved, and I will embrace them whenever I see it or hear or smell it. And it's like I take deep breaths and kind of sit in the moment with the smell, right? So that morning, I had to get up out of the covers, go and make me some coffee. And I made the coffee, and I was, of course, with my cream and sugar and getting it all ready. And then I thought about, what does coffee really do for you? what does the smell of coffee really do for you? Because I know that, like, I was there, I was comfortable in bed, and I was like, oh, I want some coffee. I want to smell coffee. Not that I want some coffee. I want to smell coffee. And I do drink coffee, so I did want to drink some as well. But the most impactful thing in that moment was that I wanted to smell some coffee. But I was going to have to get up out of my warm covers to fix the coffee, to smell the coffee. So after that, I just started researching, what does the smell of coffee do for you in the morning? And I came across some things that I was really surprised at, the real, actual, true effects that the smell of coffee can do for you in the morning. So what I found out, there's a few things that it does. So it boosts your brain power. You know how drinking coffee is supposed to boost your brain power? Smelling coffee also boosts your brain power. It helps you to be more focused, more alert, gives you energy. And we're talking about the smell of coffee. We haven't even taken a sip of coffee yet. It enhances your mood. It is a stress defense. And all these things that coffee does for you just by smelling it. And so I went on to see what it was about the coffee smell that affected me, that affected us, that affected people, because I don't remember whether the smell of coffee got me up and going. Maybe I didn't realize that it did, and it does. And I'm gonna check it out and see if I can do a little study for myself and see if it really gets me wanting to get up in the morning. Now, I don't have a coffee pot like my dad had, where it came on automatically and does that. But I may figure out a way for me to be able to do that and be able to get my coffee boost in the mornings without having to get out of my covers and making the coffee so I can smell it. Because there's something about, especially for me that likes to be snuggled. I'm not a morning person. I'd rather stay up under my covers. And I'll be awake. I'll be on my phone or in my phone or doing whatever, but not necessarily out of the covers. And just understanding how that makes me feel, how that affects me, is like finding the things that you enjoy and just enjoying them. So that's what it is with me with that. 'Cause I know I am about the covers in the morning, and now I'm going to get a better understanding of how the smell of coffee works for me. So one of the other things that I did after I did the research on finding out coffee and the effects that it had, and I was like, well, what if you don't drink coffee? Because if you don't drink coffee, does that still have the same effect on you for smelling the coffee? And so I asked my best friend, Google, do you get the same effect from the smell of coffee if you never drink coffee? And the answer was yes. Yes, you get the same effect if you never drink a cup of coffee. Not only that, if you have coffee scented things, it also makes a difference. So at one time, in which it's still on my whiteboard to do, but I wanted to create all of these coffee scented, coffee flavored products, hair products. And it wasn't necessarily about the smell. It was more so about the attributes that it has for your hair and your skin. So I don't remember exactly what it was for your hair, but I know it had a tingling effect in your scalp, because I actually used it in my shampoo and conditioner while I was testing out my product for this coffee enriched product for hair care. So one of the things that I found out is like, okay, yeah, the coffee smell does this thing for you. So it's not just the smell of coffee itself, it's also coffee scented type of thing. So if you think about aromatherapy, what is it about aromatherapy that does something for you? And the smell of what things? What are the kind of smells that get you? What are the kind of smells that you enjoy, that you like? And what does aromatherapy do for you? There was a big craze about aromatherapy years ago, and it's still, people continue to use it right now. It's a big market for aromatherapy. But what does aromatherapy really do for you? The same things that coffee does, the smell of coffee does. It enhances your mood. What it said to me was that, let me see, because I don't know this term. So the scent, when you're smelling things, these scent particles go through the olfactory. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The olfactory, and it sends signals to your brain, and it affects your physical, your mental, and your emotional well-being. So not just the smell of coffee, but other things enhance these too. So when you find a smell that just makes you feel good, that's not just in your head. That's something real that makes you really react and feel some kind of way. So we're going to talk a little more about aromatherapy when we come back from this.
Business owners are raving about the new talk show, Strictly Business with host Rich Wallace. Tune in as the top experts in business share their success stories, strategies, guidance, and advice to help you grow your business. With guests from the top companies to your favorite influencers, Strictly Business with host Rich Wallace is the show to watch for all things business. Our conversations are strictly business. We discuss new funding options, new business initiatives, best business practices, all things business explained. We provide you with the tips you need for your business, all in one morning business talk show. Be sure to tune in. Are you a business owner? Do you have a story to share? Are you able to help our audience? Then we want you on Strictly Business with host Rich Wallace. Visit the website at edgetvnetwork.net and select Be a Guest to schedule your appearance today.
And we are back. And if you are just joining us, the topic for today is why you should wake up to the smell of coffee. So we're talking about aromatherapy right now. And not just the smell of coffee, even though you can get your coffee in different things. You can get it in candles, you can get it in oils, you can get it in, I don't know, scratch offs. You can probably get it in some kind of fragrances. There's probably fragrances as well. I didn't really look into that. But there's so many different ways that you can get your coffee smell to boost your energy and your brain power and enhance your mood, just getting that. So if you got candles and you have candles that are coffee scented or have coffee smell, and are you one of those people that when you, if you're into aromatherapy, if you found some smells that you really, really like, do you take your time and just like, I'm just going to do it with this water, or I just hold it and like, smell it. Just smell it like, I can't get enough of this smell. So I looked up aromatherapy to get a better understanding of how to explain what aromatherapy is. So aromatherapy is a holistic healing practice that uses concentrated plant extracts known as essential oils, inhaled or applied to the skin to improve physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Okay, and as I talked about before, it works through inhalations, like the scent molecules stimulate the olfactory, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, olfactory system, and send signals to the brain's emotional center, the amygdala. I did look that one up, the amygdala, so I get the correct pronunciation for that. And you can get diluted oils that pass through the skin barrier or massages, whatever. And Stress and anxiety, scents like lavender and bergamot help to calm the mind, and sleep support. Diffusing floral oils from bed promotes relaxation and better rest. And for energy and focus, citrus oils like grapefruit, orange help reduce mental fatigue. And one of the things that it was also talking that I had saw that we were talking about coffee and the stress reliever part of it. You know, sometimes when you don't get enough sleep and people are getting up and they're like, I need my coffee, I need my coffee. Well, the smell of coffee also works to eliminate that sleep deprivation fatigue. And I always call it the STH headache, sleep deprivation headache. But it works to do that as well. So when you're looking at ways of changing your mental, your physical, your emotional well-being, your state, try some scents. Try some scents that you love, some scents that you enjoy, whether it's the smell of food, whether it's the smell of bread. I love the smell of bread. It's just like, it just does something for me. I love the smell of bread. I love fresh bread as well. But find out what gets you going, what makes you feel some kind of way. Like me waking up in the morning and wanting to just smell coffee without coming out from up under my covers. I'm gonna figure that out. Even if I have to start it at night and have my daughter turn it on in the morning. Get it prepared and just have her turn it on when she gets it. Maybe that's the way I can get that done. Or maybe I can find me a a coffee scented candle or something. Excuse me. But then I would still have to light the candle. Okay, we're gonna have to figure it out. But I want you to ask yourself, what are some ways, how can I create a positive morning routine? And in creating that positive morning routine, I want you to kind of take some time. And it's 3 practical steps to doing that. Identify your comfy morning desires. So whether it's the warmth, whether it's the smell of coffee, which I'm gonna suggest that you guys try the coffee with me. I'm definitely gonna see what affects or how it changes my mood. And especially for somebody that's not a morning person. And I say I'm not a morning person because I'd rather stay in bed in the morning and I'm up really late at night. Now, even though I'm up late at night, I'm still up in the morning, but not because I want to be, because I gotta be. So if smelling the coffee in the morning makes me want to get up, because that's the other thing, it says that it makes you alert and focused, ready for the day. So if that's what I need it to do for me, if that's what it can do for me, let's do it. But the practical steps is first, identify your comfy morning desires. So what it is that you want to smell, whether you want to drink something, whether it's something you want to eat, whether it's something you want to read, whether it's a show that you want to watch, whatever it is. It was going outside and getting some sunshine and absorbing that into your skin, whatever it is, your morning, because I love to hear the smell of the sound of the birds and stuff in the morning too. But whatever that is, identify your comfy morning desires. And then the second part is to consciously incorporate them into your schedule, into your day, into your morning, so you can get that going. And it may take you a little bit to identify what they are, especially if this is brand new information to you. If you never considered aromatherapy as anything, it may take you a little longer to consider what it is that your comfy morning desires are. And then the third thing, because I try to do the practical steps in 3 steps to create whatever environment we want to with whatever this is. So we're going to how to create a positive morning routine. So identifying your comfy morning desires, consciously incorporate it, and then take deep breaths to elevate the experience, whatever it is that you're doing. It's like you're here. I'm in the moment. I'm in the fragrance. I'm in the warmth. I'm in the whatever it is. Take some long, slow, deep breaths and just elevate that experience. So identify your desires, incorporate them daily, consciously incorporate them, and then take deep breaths to elevate the experience. So my challenge is to start your own coffee-scented aromatherapy, whether it's through coffee, candles, or oils, whatever. Start your own coffee aromatherapy. Now, if you drink coffee, when I was younger, a lot younger, like right out of high school, whatever, we used to take driving trips, and my family are big drivers. And you would hear people tell you that coffee wakes you up, coffee wakes you up. Well, the way I made my coffee was that I had the cream and sugar I added coffee to my cream and sugar, right? So we would take long trips and I would play with the coffee because I'm grown up, right? I'm married, young, still feeling like I'm grown up. I can drink coffee and I feel like a grown. And I literally did that. But like I said, I had more cream and sugar in my coffee than coffee, but I still love the smell of it. And going back into the memories, my dad has been gone like 20 years. And going back into those memories in that time, that's one of the things I always talk about. Dad always had the coffee every morning, and we would wake up to that. And I even went to as far as to, because I know what kind of coffee that they used to have, and it was community coffee and Folgers or Maxwell House. Is Maxwell House and Folgers the same thing? Anyway, they used to. I remember that they used to mix the two coffees with the community coffee. So whether it's Folgers and community or Maxwell House and community, they would mix it. So I actually called my sister to ask her. I'm like, do you remember what kind of coffee it was? Because the coffee that I have is supposed to be a 100% Arabica Colombia coffee, but it didn't have the smell that I remember. So I might have to specifically get me some community coffee and some other kind of coffee, maybe community coffee is all that I need to get that waking up in the morning when my daddy used to make coffee smell. But yeah, I still drink coffee now. And one of the things is that, because I wasn't a morning person as well, when my daughters were younger and I'd have to take them to school, I would get dressed and ready to go. So I'm ready to start my day as well. So I would drop them off and keep going to my office. Get to my office, make a cup of coffee. First thing, I ain't even set up my desk or anything, but I would make some coffee. One, because a lot of people, they're looking for coffee when they come in. But I've always enjoyed the smell of coffee, and I enjoy the flavor of coffee. I don't need the espresso. I don't need it to be strong or anything like that. Now, I don't want it to be watery. I do want it to be a rich taste, but it doesn't have to be super strong. I don't need it. Like, I don't even really drink energy drinks. There are some that I do drink, but I don't drink none of those hard energy drinks because I don't need it. I have no desire for it. I'm sure that have me having jitters. Which also, I saw this post, and it was an article. It was about a gentleman a 16-year-old boy, lost his life from, he had drinking some kind of coffee drink, and he had drank some Red Bull or some kind of energy drink. And he was like 3 different things, and he had drank all this within 2 hours. And what they were saying was that an adult needs only, their max is 400 milligrams of caffeine in a day. And a child, a 16-year-old child specifically, it was only 100 milligrams per day. So a cup of coffee, the coffee drinks, the energy drinks, they have at least 300 just right off the bat. So if you're drinking one of them, that's more than enough for the day. And for a teenager, it was 200% of what they needed for the day. So just a little tag in there for the dad just wanted people to understand what that number is, because the caffeine is something that we drink and think, we want to limit our sodas, or we want to watch our diet, but they don't talk about how much caffeine you should or should not be drinking. And especially as kids. Yeah, you may monitor it to a certain degree, but if you don't really know that number is that astronomical and that crazy, you wouldn't know. Just a little information for you, just something to share. So another thing is what we've been talking about. Just kind of put that on the counter for a second. So this week we're having the business summit, and there has been some changes with the business summit. It was going to be on the Queen Mary. There has been a change of venue. So it's going to be the Long Beach Marriott Awards Dinner and Casino Night. So you can check on the Chamber's page for information about that. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew it was a change of venue, and it's going to be on Saturday. Tomorrow, Keisha will actually be Nikisha will actually be talking more about it on her show. Her show is from 5 to 6, and she talks about the Chamber and all the stuff that's going on with the Chamber. She'll get more into details with that tomorrow, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock specific time. So yeah, make sure that you join in so you can get more information on that. Any of the events, and especially the major events that we have with the Chamber, the Martin Luther King Parade and Gala, the Celebrity Golf Tournament, and the business summits. They do several business summits throughout the year. If you want to be a part of that, or if you want to be a vendor with that, or if you want to advertise in the brochures that come along with that, just reach out to the Chamber. You can contact me. You can email me at the MyTueSense as well, and to get information for you to advertise, for you to participate, for you to whatever in those events. So those are some major events that we do every year. So if you want to be a part of that, just be a part of that. So it is 6:52. We're coming close to an end. And I wanted to share a little bit more about my 2 cents. So my 2 cents, again, is my opinion. And it's usually, and I say it's motivation through exposure of things that I feel like we need to understand, things that we need to remind ourselves or each other about, things that we need to talk about. And like I said, if you have anything that you would like for me to talk about, you have a topic of conversation that you would like for me to discuss, that you would like for me to share or give my 2 cents on, share it to the email, mytwocents@gmail.com. You can comment on any of these videos that you may see a podcast, wherever you see them. You can comment on them. You can message on them. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can also do that. Just reach out to me in the same way, mytwocents@gmail.com. Message me, call me, however it is, get me. If you just need to send a smoke signal, send that. But I am Debra Mcglothurn, and this is my 2 cents, and this is where I share my 2 cents. You share your 2 cents, and hopefully together we can make some sense and make minute changes in our lives and in the lives of people around us. The topic for today was why you should smell coffee in the morning. why you should wake up to the smell of coffee in the morning. If you've missed it, go back, reverse it, rewind it, play it back again. It's some great information on why you should wake up to the smell of coffee. But again, I am Debra Mcglothurn, and I am your host of MyTueSense. And I will see you again here next week, 6 o'clock. Thank you.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here, to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.